Hey, how's it going everybody? I am back with another Sphinx any% speedrun, which I haven't done for a while, so this isn't going to be like a world record attempt. This is just going to be a kind of warm-up for me, get back into it. We're going to try and do as clean of a run as we can, try and do all the strats without rushing, just try and, get them done, get through the run. And I'll try and explain everything as best as I can if you haven't seen the run before. So let's go. So we start off in the Uruk intro section, where immediately we need to collect 3 coconuts. Now you get these coconuts by grabbing one of these stones here and dropping it on or throwing it at a tree. Only 3 of the trees in this area have a coconut in them. So there are the first 2, and the other one is up here across this lava flow. So I will also mention there will be parts in the run where I won't talk quite as much, because I found whenever I talk I do tend to mess up some strats like hovering, which you will see later, probably the most difficult one. So sometimes I will be a little quiet just while I concentrate. So we've fed the coconuts to the spitting toad, which spits us up to this ledge where Horus is, because we can't get up there on our own. We can hit that big plant right at the back with a stone to destroy all of them and get the blood of Ra. Now the blood of Ra only lasts for a certain time, but it allows us to run on lava. So we run up this lava fall, grab this statue, and release the lava down that tunnel behind it. Now this activates the geysers, as you can see there. So we can run back out of this lava tunnel, and we can go and stand on the geysers to boost ourselves up to the higher areas. And if we're fairly quick, we can do it all in one cycle without really having to wait. Just like that. Now, these eyes will activate something when they see you, so we drop down here to be unseen and sneak past the back. Normally, you'd grab a stone here to hit this eye. However, you can just jump right there so that the eye doesn't see you. You kind of loses track of you. Now, this is our first hover. That should be all right there. So we hover into the loading zone on the other side where we respawned, and that allows us to skip having to release a boulder, which we then jump on, which takes a lot of time. So instead we just hover straight across that gap. And the way hovering works is it uses, or kind of abuses, a mechanic called coyote time, which you may have heard from the Crash Bandicoot games, I believe. And essentially what it is when you run off a ledge, you kind of hang in the air for a split moment, and it gives you a chance to jump even when you're not touching the floor. If you just run off a platform, it gives you an extra chance to jump, to jump back on the platform or whatever. And by running off the platform and then repeatedly stopping moving and then moving forwards again, we don't fall. Instead, we just kind of hover down, and that's why we call it the hover. So that allows us to cross large gaps which we normally wouldn't be able to. It's probably one of the most prominent glitches that we use in the run. And also one of the most difficult, I would say. So we now have the Sword of Osiris, which we will be using throughout the run. Oh, so close. Let's try that again. Okay, very nice. Second try. So nice hover there. Allows us to skip getting some more blood of Ra and crossing the lava and making our way back up on top of the platform. We now can kill those eyes using our sword, And here we have some spike spiders, which we lead over to this gate They normally just jump at the gate. There we go. Don't seem to be very compliant today. So they have 2 health, which makes it sensible to lead them over to the gate where they will hurt themselves once, and then we can just kill them by, you know, slashing them once. So theoretically, it does save some time. Right, these slim burbles blow up, so we use it to blow up that Eye of Ra post, which would normally laser us and send us back to where the post actually was. But we're past that now. This is another gate where you can just kind of jump up next to it. The eye loses track of you. You do lose some health, but it's a good price to pay, I think. And now we are almost at the end of the introduction level. All we need to do now is head up to that ledge to our left, and we'll get blasted down into a hole with a portal in it, essentially. And we can use the portal amulet that we picked up from the spike spider room to head on. Magical rainbow bridge, and across the ledge. Skip the cutscene and give the portal god our amulet. So that's the end of the first Sphinx section. And that brings us into the first mummy/prince section. So this is the one and only time we will be playing as the prince, who then later gets turned into the mummy. And the aim of this section is to collect 8 old amulets. Now, ideally, we only collect 5, because 3 of them we are able to duplicate. But the duplication is a 1-frame trick, so it's very tricky to get. Which makes getting 3 duplicates very rare. But that is one, so you see how we went from 1 old amulet to 3 old amulets in one go. And the first duplication saves, I would say, roughly a minute. I think the same with the, maybe the same with the second. And I think the third saves another maybe 30 seconds on top of that. So, a fair bit of time. We now have to chase after a letter that Nefertiti has not necessarily lost. It was stolen by a crow who is along this path. We can't catch the crow up here. We've just got to essentially chase it back down to the ground. It always lands in the same places, so you just follow the same path. And it's not too tricky. So there you see we use Coyote Time to essentially skip the end of that shimmy there. Save a fraction of some time. We don't even really need to get too close to the crow. Just close enough that it triggers that it should move on. There we go, we've got the letter. Go and talk to Nefertiti. Another thing that you can kind of use to save some time is when you speak to someone, they will first turn to face you. So if you speak to them head on straight away, they don't have to spend that time turning to face you. And it can save, you know, about a second maybe. Right, so we're coming up on our next amulet. This should be the third one technically, but that will bring us up to 4. And there is one more behind the left eagle statue over there. We do have to pull this eagle statue as well to open a secret passageway behind the throne. Right, there we go. Didn't get the duplication there, that is fine. The way the duplication works is to pick up the amulet, you can either run into it and it will pick it up, or you can stand near it and press the take button. However, if you do both of these on exactly the same frame, it will give you 2 amulets instead of 1. And that is what we try and do. However, you can only do that for the ones behind the statues, because the rest you can't run into and take them at the same time. Right, so the last amulet we need... Sorry, not last amulet. The last amulet that we can duplicate is through here. We also need this sarcophagus key to be able to access the various sarcophagi around the palace and occasionally later in the game. Alright, that's fine. Just 1 duplicate. Which means we need 2 more amulets. And because of that, there is 1 slightly longer amulet that we don't need to get. Hence the about a minute saved. So you can see these are the sarcophagi that we can enter, and it spits us out somewhere else. So we'll come over to this right side first to get 1 amulet. There we go. That is our 7th amulet. One thing to note here is we do grab the ledge as we fall down. And that is because if we just fall down without grabbing the ledge, we will kind of go splat on the floor. And it takes us a few seconds to get up. So it's worth grabbing the ledge on the way down just to make sure that doesn't happen. The thing about the prince and the mummy is you can't take damage. So there's no harm in falling. It does just take a couple of seconds to get back up. And here is our last amulet that we need to collect. Our 8th amulet. So once we've got this, we're going to bring it back to our aunt, who in return will give us the room to the treasure key. Sorry, the key to the treasure room. Here we go. Here's our aunt, so we can talk to her twice, skip the cutscenes, and we get the treasure room key. And of course, we use this to get into the treasure room, which is just down the stairs here. A fun fact, you can actually glitch behind this door. However, you can't go into the treasure room because it will only teleport you there if you go through by activating the door. So even if you can glitch behind the door, it doesn't send you to the treasure room, unfortunately. Right, so that's the prince section done. We're now playing as Sphinx again. Now, this timing is a little tight to do it well. Nice, okay. It's good to grab that ledge without having to use the box to get up there. And now, hopefully, I landed the box, just about, on the platform. So we'll bring that up. And what we can do is throw this straight to the other side. Use the lever again to pull it back up. Now, there is a trick that was discovered fairly recently, which I'll be attempting in a moment. I learnt it this morning, about an hour ago, so we'll see how it goes. It should save roughly 30 seconds, so a fair amount of time, if I can pull it off. Now we have those 2 glyph keys. We can place them in these slots here, and that will cause the rope to come over to us. Okay, here goes. I'm going to be quiet for this just so I can concentrate. There we go, very nice. So usually we wouldn't be able to get up here until a little later. But hopefully... Okay, nice, just around those spikes. Oh, just missed it. That's really unfortunate. No worries. I think that wasn't too bad for my first proper attempt. So we'll have to go through here and lower the spikes manually by hitting these. Usually we should use that box to hit those higher targets. However, we can kind of just glance off the side of the pillars and just about reach them. Yeah, so if I'd done that correctly, we wouldn't have had to lower these ropes, which obviously saves a fair amount of time. Something to practice for next time, I think. And we also need these scarabs in here for later. There we go. So what we're getting in this next room is the Shield of Osiris. But first, we need to take out all the skeletons in this room. How are we doing on health? 2 out of 3. That should be fine. There is a semi-tough fight. We usually kind of just brute force our way through it at the end of this. But you don't want to be too low on health. Now, something else you might notice is combos. What I'm doing here is doing 2 hits of a full combo and then starting another combo and finishing it. Now, this is because on the 3rd hit of a combo, you knock back the enemy, but you also do 2 damage instead of 1 on the final hit. And although the 2 damage is very nice, it does knock back the enemy and give them slight invincibility for a short amount of time. So we'd rather do 2 hits and not finish the combo. Just making sure I get on this rope here. And then start a new combo and finish them off. We will also be abusing the 2 damage mechanic on the final 3rd hit later in the run. So this is where we need the shield just to get past that laser. I believe that is actually one of the only points where you are required to have the shield in the whole game. I'm not sure there's anywhere else that absolutely requires you to have it. Oh, very nice. That wasn't too bad. So we get an extra health for doing that as well. We also get another amulet, which will teleport us to the city or town of Abidos, our next destination. Oh, that was a close one. Almost got my head chopped off there. Here we go. We are now in Abidos. So in normal gameplay, when you first come here, you have to collect 3 pearls, which we will be doing, in order to get the stairs key to access the upper area. However, you would also try and capture or buy a monster, get enough scarabs, which is the currency in this game, to buy a monster from the shop, which can get you the zipline handle, which you need to continue. However, we can just use a hover to get past using the zipline handle. We can also, here, use something called a swim glitch, which, if I line up correctly, there we go. You swim at the wall and you go through it. We will also be using this later. Although I would say that's probably the most difficult one to set up. So we got 1 pearl from in the sewer there. We've got another pearl there. We'll go and just wait until the talk prompt pops up there, so that we essentially set our respawn point there. Go and grab the final pearl there, get some money, jump in the electrified water so we don't have to run back. Hand in the pearls, and we get the stairs key. So we can use that on this door to head up to the upper area. And that is pretty much our first Abidos visits completed. One thing we do need before we go is a tad more money, so we'll grab 10 scarabs from that pot there, and then we need to hover. Very nice. You do need to be careful that you've got enough money when hovering across to here without the zipline handle, because the only way back is with the zipline handle, and if you fall in the water, it just respawns you on that platform. So you can get soft lock there if you don't have enough money and don't have the zipline handle. Right, welcome to Heliopolis. We are now going to completely break the game in many ways. So these posts are usually to keep you from going past this area. We can guard them, jump up here by jumping on that pot and get past it. This next trick is called a sword dive. You could probably see why. Okay, I think I saved that there. Very nice. So essentially, we get to the edge above some water. We stop moving right on the edge, so we slip down into the water, and we also start swinging at the same time. And it essentially turns the water into air. We just fall right through it. We even fall through the ground. And once we've fallen through the ground, the game kind of goes, oh, hang on, you should be in water, so you start swimming. And then we're just out of bounds swimming. This is a late game area that we are now in. Usually you need the underwater darts to get to this area by going through that water section properly. But we just glitched through. We do need a couple more scarabs here. Grab 20 from that pot. And we come over here to the capture beetle shop. And we buy some capture beetles. Now, this is something that, again, we got very early. Not super early, but we got it from the wrong place as well. So capture beetles allow us to capture monsters, which we will be using a little later. Once we've done that, we're going to head across these speed discs and hover across this water here for the most part. We can swim in this water, so that's not a problem. It's just a little faster to hover across rather than swim. Oh, and it looks like the timer hasn't gone off. Oh, for capture beetles either. There we go. So this takes us to the first mummy level. Now, the mummy can't die, so these are essentially puzzle levels. But we can do some nice movement just to speed things up a tiny bit. There we go. Instead of having to shimmy across some bars there, we can just hover straight across those boxes. Now we've got another eye here. We can't hit this one. We'll just wait it out. It's very slow moving, so we can just run straight past it. Right, first mummy level. We are into the main section now. First thing we want to do is push this slightly closer to this area. And we're going to get electrified. Now, the water will remove any electricity or fire on us. Now, the electricity and the fire are usually very helpful for us, so we often don't want to fall in the water. Hence, moving that platform so we can get across. First stolen jewel is of no consequence to us in this speedrun. That down there is a fake chest. We will drop down there later. We don't even have to open the chest. It just disappears. First things first, we're going to come into this area though. So this is essentially teaching you about electricity on the mummy. Normally you would set these platforms spinning. However, it's actually a lot easier if you leave them stationary. Makes for much more consistent jumps. And now we just come back and electrify ourselves again. We also need to get that spider off there so we can climb back up. And wait for the water to go down before jumping across. There we go. Those are the two pylons electrified, I guess. Sends that handle across. And that is how we get the item to change the direction that we get flung in when we stand on that center area in the main room. If that makes any sense. You will see in a moment. So that's the lunar key, which is one of 3 different keys. We only need one more. We just need the earth key, which is in the other room. So on our way back, we're just going to drop down here, and we get flattened. We get turned into paper mummy. So this allows us to get through bars like that. We can just squeeze through. And we come straight over here. I think this is the exit key we pick up. Yes, the exit key for the exit door. And we also open that gate to allow us to change the key. So that's one of the keys already in there. We don't need that anymore, so we'll take it out. And we'll put the lunar key in there. Right, so this is the second half of the first mummy level. Features some more difficult hovers. One especially I will be quiet for, but it's only very short. So this laser will set us on fire, which is the theme of this second room. It's all about fire. So as you can see, things like wooden items, you can just walk into them and burn. We hover down here so we don't go splat on the floor. Ignite this so we can get set on fire again. And that also extends that bridge. We also need a way back up there. So we go across here and pull this lever right here. That gives us a way back up. And what I like to do, I think I saw another speedrunner doing this, so I've done it ever since. It just gives us a nice way of timing when to jump back in here. We go around the room, jump in there, and right as that finishes, the platform comes down. So we run across here. We need to extend at least one other bridge, so we use the fire and hover down straight into this one. And that extends the final platform. Which means one platform isn't extended, and that is the one we are going to be hovering across, which is the fairly tricky hover. There we go. Oh, butt clenching every time. Now we just shimmy past these spikes and we can get to the final key, the Earth key. There we go, and again we will hover down here so that we don't go splat. All we have to do now is open the gate before the exit gate, and then we can leave. We also have to change over the keys to the Earth key as well. So this, again, is where the sarcophagus key that we picked up in the print section comes in handy. Because if you just stand in here, you will get electrified and lose your fire. So you can hide in this sarcophagus, wait for the electricity to pass, and come and burn this gate down. Right, we don't need any fire anymore, so we can just run straight through this water and remove the lunar key and change it to the Earth key. There is one glitch we can do here. Not very consistent, but there is a way to... There we go, glitch straight through the door and avoid having to wait for it to open, which is very nice. Right, we now have the Wings of Ibis, which means we can double jump with Sphinx. So we will use the Abidos amulet to head back to Abidos. And it is now time for Passcard skip, which is a very difficult combination of a tight series of jumps using the double jump and a precise hover. And that will allow us to go and fight the first boss. So again, I'll probably be quite quiet while I'm doing Passcard skip and explain it afterwards. Okay, here it is. There we go. So, essentially what happened there is we used the post to get on top of the statue, hover from the statue's head, and we just about cleared the top of the collision box for the gate. We kind of go to one side of it. And then we have to slam the ground and turn in midair to position ourselves so we land on the right side of the fence. It's very tricky, but I think second try was very good. Here we do another swim glitch out of bounds. We then come back up to the surface because otherwise we don't have enough air to reach where we're going. So we swim along kind of the surface of the metaphorical water, swim into this loading zone, and we swim under a kind of pool of water that sticks out, which teleports us to that pool's surface. We then dive down and we can swim right into the loading zone for the boss, skipping out so much. And here we go, the first boss. Again, I'll be fairly quiet for this one, just because it's simple enough, but you've got to concentrate on doing everything in the right order. And final hit coming in. As you can see, those bombs are disappearing right in the correct order so that we don't get hit by them. There we go. That's the first boss defeated there. And we come out and we head straight towards the second boss now. So essentially what we had to do there was wait for him to shoot some bombs to uncover the pillars at first. And then hit the gems inside those uncovered pillars so that they were all lit up at once. They do disappear after some time if you don't light them all up at the same time. So get them all lit up at once. Damn lionfish. And then essentially just do that 3 times. We'll go to Cursed Palace, please. So that is all of our money spent. As you can see, it's very well optimized with the amount of money that we pick up. And finally, we are heading to one of the starting areas in the game, Great Wall Entrance 1. And I've noticed the timer hasn't been splitting again, so I'll just catch up on that. So we are heading in here to grab the blowpipe, which we will need for later. We also need 3 fire armadillos, because to get to the end of the game, you need to have beaten all 3 main bosses. And you also need 3 fire armadillos, because Anubis wants some. So usually you'd go to Anubis first, get the capture beetles, then come back out to collect the fire armadillos. Instead, we just collect them on the way there. Oh, it's so much easier doing this with more than 1 health. For those who are confused, I did a 1 health playthrough on Twitch, which was essentially a 1 ank playthrough, so I could get hit a maximum of 3 times, and it was pretty tricky. Don't you dare! All right, there we go. 2 fire armadillos. That's right. We don't actually need the fire armadillos yet. We just collect them in this section, and then we get 1 more on the way out. No, the reason we're here is to collect the blowpipe, as I said. All right, that's that pattern correctly. And we grab the blowpipe. And we leave. And we can equip the blowpipe on the way out. Okay, there we go. And we'll add in a split there. Do need to remember to grab this final armadillo before we go. What we can do is... No, it's not working. There we go. What you can do is if you place a capture beetle over top a monster or at their feet and then hit them at the same time, it occasionally captures them in 1 hit. However, sometimes it can be a little temperamental. So we're on our way to what in the game is essentially the final boss before Set. We're going to the Pharaoh spider. And to do that, we're going to glitch through a wall in the Cursed Palace into the entrance to the boss arena. I'm saving there just in case we get soft-locked, because there are essentially 2 opportunities for a soft-lock in this. Well, 1 and then 1 that we don't really want to happen. Oh, that's unfortunate. That doesn't usually happen. So we're going to try and glitch through this wall and then load the boss room loading zone. Unfortunately, this is one of the ones I always seem to struggle with. There we go. Perfect. So we're just outside the boss arena. We don't want to be inside because that won't start the boss fight. And there's no way to start the boss fight from inside. So we have to come around the side here, glitch out into the water, and come in the normal way. So this is the Pharaoh spider. We've got to hit him. We've got to do 5 damage, but we can use the 2 damage trick that I told you about earlier. That's right. Okay, that's 1 damage. And you can only hit him after you've knocked him with a rock. So we're going to take the hit there so he stops doing that swinging attack and go straight into another ground pound to drop some more stones from the ceiling. Right, pick up the first rock we see. There we go. That is Pharaoh Spider complete. And that's slightly messed up. Okay. So we're going to have to quit out and reload the game. We did do the wrong... So essentially what we want to do there is hit that save point so we don't get teleported. So we are going to have to do the Pharaoh fight again, because otherwise it sends us into a mummy level that we don't want to do. We'd rather do a much faster one, which also brings us out at a more convenient location. Right. Try that again. Okay, that's fine. Find the loading zone. And we're outside the arena. That's perfect. Definitely going to have to put some practice into that one. So unfortunately, when we reached the mummy section, I think we got stuck on something, which meant we couldn't reach the save point in time. Which is unfortunate, but it happens. Right, that is 4 damage very quickly. Nice. So wait until he does the swinging attack. Block that. Well, I say block that. Get hit by it. Wait for the ground slam. Find a stone. Very nice. Right, that is the game saved. So we can quit out, reload the game, and we won't get teleported to the 6th mummy level. Instead, we will stay where we are, and we can go to the 4th mummy level. Very nice. Usually there would be more of those eyes guarding this section. However, because we're glitching into it, they've just gone on holiday instead. Okay, first things first in this mummy, we want in this mummy level, we want to flatten ourselves and pull that lever so that we can run across this gap. We're then going to jump past this fan, where we fall through some saws and get turned into 3 different mummies. We have done the Pharaoh spider, so I'll hit that split. Gonna run one of them forwards. Put one of them there. Put one of them here. This activates the elevator, so we can go and stand on here. And we want to pull this lever quickly. Get both the mummies on here. And get both the mummies off. There we go. So that is a very quick elevator there. Now we go and stand on two buttons here to allow us to get through to where some fire is. There we go, both gates down. Switch to the final mummy. And we run all the way through. And that will be essentially the level almost done. As you can see, it's a very fast one. And hence why we don't really want to do the intended 6th mummy level. So we're now on fire. We just need to open some gates at the top here, and then we're going to hover all the way over to the final platform. Very nice. So this is a puzzle that we have to do here. Just got to light these so that they're all lit at once. And that's it. We are back as Sphinx. So that is the second boss done. That's also Mummy 2 done. Again, not quite sure why the splitter isn't working, but not to worry. We now just have Gab Queen to go. So we are going to glitch into Great Wall 3. Again, hovering in. However, we're going to gain a bit of height this time. There we go, come up here. So this wall doesn't actually exist. There we go. And we can just sneak behind the gate there without having to open it. Next off, we're going to just jump straight in the water and do another swim glitch to avoid doing any of the puzzles in this section. There we go, straight through. Come to the surface so we can just swim along the top. And we're going to listen out for some enemies spawning. That will give us a clue as to when to dive down and return to the surface. There we go. So we'll dive down. Come back through so we're above ground. And then we're going to swim over top of the water to the side here. So that we stop swimming. And we can jump back on to the land. And we'll take this portal. And finally, we are at Uruk Islands. There is another trick we can do here. Didn't quite get it. I think I jumped too early. So what you can do there is if you jump off the edge and catch the ledge, sometimes it'll kind of allow you to move during the cutscene, which means you can jump on this platform the first time it appears, rather than waiting for it to go all the way down to the bottom and all the way back up. Didn't quite get it there, unfortunately. Maybe next time. So now we have Uruk Temple. This is where we get the bouncing darts. We don't really need to do Uruk Temple other than to get a Glyph key so that we can actually get to the boss fight. Right, so this is all about putting patterns into these slots in the wall. Unfortunately, I mean, the patterns are the same each time. However, you still need to uncover the patterns in each area in order to use them. Otherwise, we just put in the same patterns each time and be done with it. There we go, that's one pattern in. So this one is an H shape. Oh, I'm attacking the wrong way. That probably doesn't help. Right, capture that, slam that at the same time. The pillar comes up the same time that cutscene happens. Saves a slight bit of time there. We attack the pillar, grab the bouncing darts, and now we need to hit this target, which is very tricky because the bouncing darts are fickle. There we go. Didn't take too long on that one, thankfully. Now we've just got to break these two ropes, the other one on the other side as well, to reveal a pattern, and then we can go on to the next room. There we go. We just need to pull that lever and then we can leave. So we jump under an invisible platform there. This allows us to capture some slim bubbles which explode, as you saw earlier. You know what, we'll put the pattern in when we come back. So we'll capture you. We'll just capture 3 of these. We'll kill you as well, just in case we can get some extra health. No? Okay. There we go. I only need 3 of those. I do usually get 4, to be fair. But we should be alright with 3, I hope. And this is an O shape. I can't believe that. Bounced. There we go. So one thing you can do to speed things up here is not actually break this pillar. You can just jump straight up here, jump across the statue, and break this one instead. Unfortunate we got hit there, but what can you do? Right, set that going, pull the lever. We should avoid the skull missile that he's sending out, so we don't have to deal with him at all. Stand on this. That's... Oh, no, he's got it. That's fine. Okay, perfect. So that's revealed the final pattern, meaning we can now leave. There we go. So that's Uruk Temple done. And what we can do, put the glyph key in here. That allows us to use the car darts, I believe they're called, to teleport to either side. So first we need the key to the boss room. So we're going to come over to this side to get that first. Now, I don't like the tree creature here, so I'm going to try and hit it with a dart first. Nice. Makes it a little easier, as we don't have to lose health to the tree creature or try and dodge it. Although, yep, still going to try and attack us there. What we can do is throw the statue at the skull worshipper, which kills it instantly. If you throw anything like a box or a statue at an enemy, it will just instantly kill them. Unfortunately, there isn't really any way to abuse that for boss fights. Here we go, on to Gab Queen. So we've got the key now. While the door is opening, you can come over here. Maybe get another health. Don't know if it's worth it. Okay, this fight can be tough, so I'm going to just kind of concentrate here. Come on, Spike Spider, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I'll get two of them out. This could go badly. That's alright, that's not too bad. Come on, last Spike Spider, that's all we need. No, over here. Go on, get her. Go on, you can do it. Come on, I believe in you. That's what we needed. Okay, beautiful. And now we go to Anubis for the set fight. Those spike spiders can be incredibly temperamental. If you're very lucky, they will hit every time they lunge, but no one is ever that lucky. If only. Right, there we go. We have been sent to go and fight Set. Got this little intro section where we've got to do some tiny bit of platforming just to get past this laser. Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought we'd make that there. Not sure quite how it hit us. Usually you can stand right in that little tiny inlet there and not get hit. Oh, didn't even fire at us that time. We should be good. Yep, good on health. All right, into the final fight. Right, we're just going to fall in the lava. Actually does less damage than getting hit by those flames, strangely enough. You wouldn't think so, but that's the way it is. Again, we want to try and do double hits on set. Problem is, you can't hit him while his hands are closed, so you want to start the attack when the hands are closed, and hopefully finish it when they're open, so you can actually hit him. You'll then go to the center again, go and do some other attack, and you've just got to wait it out until the fences come up again. Oh, that's unfortunate. Got slightly too close on that one. We'll have to do another round afterwards. Where are all the robots? Ah, there's one. Hopefully that doesn't put the other robot in a bad position. If you've got a robot too close to where set is, it can really screw things up. And so can having a lava pool right there. Unfortunately, if you stand in a lava pool, it will reset your combo. There's not really much you can do about that. Okay. Jump in the lava again. And now we just wait. There we go. Time, we got 1 hour, 5 minutes, 58 seconds. I believe that was in-game time. Not too bad. Not my best performance, but considering this is my first run back after however long, I'm very happy with that. I think we did very well, especially after we lost so much time in the Pharaoh spider area, at least trying to get into it. And Gab Queen wasn't as fast as it could have been. So was Uruk Temple slow? I'm not sure. It's very difficult to tell because most of the splits didn't go off. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope to be doing some more any percent runs soon. I do have my eye set on the world record again. We will get there. I just need a bit more practice. Again, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed, if you aren't already subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. See ya!